All right, strap in, everyone. We're diving deep into the wild world of Valorant esports today.
And things are about to get spicy.
You said it. We're talking about Global Esports total roster revamp.
Yeah, they had a rough 2024.
9th place in Pacific Stage 2. Didn't even make playoffs.
Ouch.
So they wiped the slate clean.
Brand new roster.
A clean slate, new beginnings, and we're breaking it all down based on this VLR.gg article and, of course, the always entertaining forum reactions.
Oh, those forums, a goldmine of opinions.
Some insightful, some.
Oh.
Well, we'll get to that. But first, let's meet the new recruits.
Starting with Saba Kristal Fedorov.
Coming in hot from Shilai Gaming.
Fresh off a win at Ascension, China.
Ascension, for those who might not know.
Just like the Proving Grounds. Teams battling it out for a shot at the bid leagues.
And Kristal, he led his team to victory.
Yet not just a player. He was their IGL.
IGL, in-game leader.
The captain, the strategist, calling the shots.
Massive win for a relatively new player.
Shows potential.
Next up, we've got Kelly. Kelly S. Cedillo.
Formerly of Oasis Gaming and Rex Regum Keon.
Now here's where things get interesting. Both Kristal and Kelly S.
They both primarily play initiators.
Setting up plays, creating space for their team.
Two main initiators. Unconventional.
How's Global Esports going to balance that?
Yeah, well, they have to be more flexible, maybe swap roles depending on the map.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
And the VLR.gg forum. They're buzzing with a rumor.
Oh, do tell.
Word on the street is Kelly S. is going to be the IGL.
Not Kristal.
That's what they're saying.
Interesting. So maybe Kristal's leadership is more like a support system.
Could be.
A mentor for Kelly S. Fascinating dynamic.
Definitely something to watch. All right, next up, we have Federico Papi Evangelista.
A controller formerly with AOS.
Controllers, the anchors, locking down sites.
Preventing those enemy pushes.
Poppies, solid, consistent.
Known for his strategic use of those controller abilities.
Steady presence for Global Esports. Then we have Go Udotan Kungwon.
Udotan. This guy's a journeyman.
Played for a lot of teams. Rare Atom, Four Angry Men, Guangzhou Shadow, Talon Esports, even Gongo Prince.
Bounced around quite a bit.
Could mean he's adaptable.
Seen different play styles, experienced.
But also raises the question, why hasn't he found a team to stick with?
Yeah, is it a matter of finding the right fit?
Yes.
Or maybe consistency? Interesting to consider.
And speaking of Udotan,
what's the forum saying?
there's a rumor going around. Apparently he's not going to be playing duelist.
Really? He's got experience in that role.
Surprising, right?
Makes you wonder where he'll fit in their strategy.
Definitely adds to the intrigue.
Which brings us to the last player, Mark Patrick Hu Muzni.
Formerly of Cardi World and Velocity Gaming.
Not as well known as some of the others.
Potentially a breakout star, though. Global Esports taking a chance on some fresh talent.
So we've got Kristal and Kelly S. possibly leading the charge. Pappy holding down the controller role, Udotan. Well, we're still figuring out what he's going to be doing.
The mystery continues. And Patrick Hu stepping into the duelist role. A bold move for a lesser-known player. What are your initial thoughts on this lineup?
It's a mixed bag, that's for sure. We've got experience, potential, and a whole lot of unknowns.
A gamble for Global Esports.
A gamble indeed. The dual initiator thing, that's unique. And Udotan's role, still up in the air. Plus, can Patrick Hu handle the pressure?
Being the main duelist against top-tier competition, no easy feat.
We'll see. The forums, they're divided. Some excited to see a new face. Others, well, let's just say they're not convinced.
Yeah, time will tell if this unconventional roster will click. But hey, that's what makes it exciting, right? All these storylines to follow.
Absolutely.
So we've met the players, but what about the fans?
Oh, the fans always have opinions.
What's the overall vibe from the VLR.gg forum? Are they hyped or are they throwing shade?
Well, you know Valorant fans, they're passionate, and let's just say the reactions are colorful.
Hit me with some of those spicy comments. I live for the drama.
All right, here's one that sums up the pessimism. No Scrosy, no win.
Yeah.
Scrosy, their previous duelist, fan favorite.
Ah, I see. Some people are already writing them off without him.
Happens all the time. Tough to say goodbye to a beloved player.
New beginnings can be bittersweet.
Here's another gem. Patrick Hu and Pappy Saj. Some fans, they're skeptical about those two signings.
But don't think they were the best choices.
Exactly. And of course, we have the classic name change drama. El Rito, they nerfed my goat Patrick Watson sign.
Wait, Patrick Hu used to be Patrick Watson.
Apparently, some fans really attached to that old name.
Oh, I get it. Those little things matter to fans. And speaking of names, there's a whole side conversation happening about Pappy's name change. Papi Chulo to just Packy.
Yeah, chulo can be a little taboo in some cultures.
So Riot probably asked him to change it.
Makes sense.
But of course, some people on the forum are up in arms, saying they ruined an iconic name.
The drama never ends. But hey, sensitivity is important, especially in a global esport like Valorant.
Right, got to be mindful of those cultural nuances. And speaking of global, there's that whole import player situation.
Ah, yes. Always confusing for new viewers.
It's not about nationality, it's about region.
Exactly. Cristal, he got released from XLG after winning Ascension China because they could only have one import on their VCT roster.
But in the Pacific region, Global Esports can field this diverse lineup with no issues.
Precisely. No import restrictions for them.
And it's interesting, with this roster, there's a clear trend. Global Esports, they're leaning into Filipino talent.
You've got Kelly S., Pappy, and Patrick Hu, all from the Philippines.
Are they trying to become the Filipino team in the Pacific League?
That's the question on everyone's mind. The forums are buzzing with speculation.
Ambitious goal considering the competition.
Genji and Paper Rex, they're tough to beat.
But hey, building a strong regional identity, that could give them an edge. Think about the fan support.
Imagine a match in the Philippines, that home crowd energy. It would be electric. But it's not just about hype, a shared cultural background. It can foster camaraderie, a real sense of team spirit. We'll have to see how this Filipino-centric approach plays out. It's a smart move, right? Tapping into that Filipino Valorant fan base could be a huge advantage for global esports.
For sure, that home crowd advantage, can't underestimate that. But, looking at the forum, not everyone's thrilled with this roster.
Oh, what are they saying?
Some fans, they're disappointed there's no Indian representation on the team.
Ah, I see. Considering global esports history, starting with that strong Indian roster, I can understand that sentiment.
Yeah, some fans are feeling a bit left out with this shift.
It's a tricky situation, trying to build a regional powerhouse in the Pacific, but also staying connected to their roots, those early fans.
One comment in particular really stood out. Be Indian org. The only Indian talent is the staff. Rumao. Ouch.
Yeah, that stings a little. Definitely some frustration there.
It's a tough balance, right? Trying to appeal to new audiences without alienating the existing fan base.
Absolutely. A balancing act, for sure.
Maybe they'll look into a developmental academy or something, focused on Indian players.
Not a bad idea. A way to nurture talent and reconnect with that part of their fan base.
Worth considering. But, okay, back to this current roster. Pacific League, it's a beast. Can this global esports team really hold their own?
That's the question, isn't it? Genji and Paper Rex, they're the giants in the Pacific.
Genji, so disciplined. Those star players, Meteor, K1N, they're a force of nature.
And Paper Rex, so aggressive, unpredictable. Jing and Forsaken leading the charge. How do you compete with that?
So what does global esports need to do to even stand a chance?
Well, first things first. Team identity. They need to gel as a unit, develop a cohesive playstyle.
They've got the individual talent, but it needs to come together.
Exactly. Like a puzzle, all the pieces are there, but you got to put them together the right way. Roles, agent selection, strategies that play to their strengths, and of course, leadership. Kelly S.'s IGL, that's going to be crucial.
Being the IGL, it's not just about game knowledge, right? It's more than that.
Oh, absolutely. It's leadership, it's decision-making under pressure, keeping the team focused. A good IGL can make or break a team, especially in those clutch moments.
High-pressure environment. Pacific League. Can Kelly S. rise to the occasion?
We'll see. He's got the potential, but this is a big step up for him.
And then there's the constant evolution of Valorant. New agents, map changes.
Yeah.
The meta, it's always shifting. They've got to be adaptable.
100%. You can't just stick to one playbook. You got to be able to adjust on the fly. Analyze your opponents, figure out their weaknesses, and exploit them.
Stay one step ahead.
Exactly. And let's not forget the mental game. Valorant, it's intense. There will be setbacks, tough losses. How they handle that pressure, that's going to be key.
The mental fortitude, got to be strong.
Team chemistry, a supportive environment, that's crucial. They need to be able to lift each other up when things get rough.
5 players, different backgrounds, different levels of experience. Can they gel as a unit?
The big question mark, right. Synergy, that's something you can't force.
It's either there or it's not. Fingers crossed for global esports. Okay, let's zoom in on some of these players. Cristal, the former IGL from Shilai Gaming. What stood out to you about his performance in Ascension China?
He was calm, collected, even under pressure, good strategic mind, and he can clutch up when needed.
But those leadership skills, will they translate to a new team? Different region, different dynamic.
That's the thing. Leadership styles, they don't always transfer smoothly. Plus, if he's not the main shot caller for Global Esports, how will he adapt?
Interesting point. Maybe not being the IGL, maybe that frees him up to focus more on his individual gameplay. Could be a blessing in disguise.
Could be. He's a talented player, no doubt. Now, Kelly S., he's played both Initiator and Duelist. What did you see in his time with Oasis Gaming and Rex Regum Keon?
Versatility. That's what stands out.
Yeah, he's comfortable in multiple roles, gives Global Esports some flexibility. Good game sense, too.
But being the IGL of a team with championship aspirations, that's a whole different ballgame. More than just knowing the game, it's about leading the team.
You're right. It's about inspiring your teammates, making those tough calls in the heat of the moment. Can Kelly S. do that? Only time will tell. Pappy, the controller, what are your thoughts on him?
Steady player, reliable. From what I've seen, he can lock down a site with his controller ability.
Exactly. Consistent, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, the kind of player you want on your team when things get chaotic. But can he compete with the top controllers in the Pacific League?
That's the challenge, right? Stepping up to that level.
The margin for error is much smaller at the top.
And then there's Udotan. Tons of experience, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. Why do you think he's bounced around so many teams?
Maybe he's just been searching for the right fit, the right team, the right environment where he can thrive.
Maybe Global Esports is that place.
Could be. But his role, that's still a mystery. Initiator, Duelist, the forum rumor, says he's doing something different this time. Intriguing, to say the least.
So many unknowns with this roster, it's exciting.
It's like a puzzle we're trying to solve.
And finally, we have Patrick Hu, the wild card. He's coming from lesser-known teams. What's the potential there?
He's the unknown quantity. The forums are full of doubters, but hey, maybe Global Esports sees something special in them. A hidden gem.
A diamond in the rough.
Exactly. Maybe we're witnessing the beginning of a star's rise. Wouldn't that be something?
It's what makes following esports so compelling. These stories of players rising through the ranks, this whole Global Esports roster, it's a fascinating mix.
A gamble, for sure, but a gamble that could pay off big time. They've got the potential, the ambition. It's all about putting it all together.
So we've talked about the players, their potential, the challenges they face, but the big question is, can Global Esports really make waves in the Pacific League?
Right.
Can they go from 9th place to playoff contenders? Maybe even championship contenders?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's a tough climb, especially with those powerhouse teams like Gen G and Paper Rex at the top.
Gen G, with their disciplined strategies and star players like Meteor, K1NG, they're a force to be reckoned with.
And then you have Paper Rex, known for their aggressive, unpredictable style, led by players like Jing and Forsaken.
It's a tough field. So what would it take for Global Esports to break through and challenge those teams?
Well, a lot of factors have to come together.
Like what? Give me the breakdown.
First and foremost, they need to solidify their team identity, develop a cohesive play style.
They have the talent, but it's got to mesh.
Exactly. It's like having all the ingredients for a great dish, but not knowing the recipe. They need to figure out their roles, which agents work best for each player, and develop strategies that play to their strengths.
And leadership. With Kelly S.'s IGL, huge role to fill.
A great IGL can make all the difference. It's more than just calling strats. It's about inspiring your team, making those tough calls in the heat of the moment. Can Kelly S. step up and lead this team? That's a big question mark.
So strategy, leadership, individual skill, all crucial.
Yeah.
But there's another key ingredient, adaptability. Valorant's always evolving, new agents, map changes, the meta shifts constantly.
Absolutely. You can't be rigid. You have to be flexible, willing to adjust your strategies, try new things, and adapt to the changing landscape.
You got to be able to roll with the punches.
Exactly. And then there's the mental aspect. The Pacific League, it's high pressure. There will be setbacks, tough losses. How they handle that, how they bounce back, that's going to be key.
Resilience.
Yeah, that ability to learn from mistakes, support each other, maintain a positive mindset even when things are tough. And that's where team chemistry comes in. Can these 5 players gel as a unit? Can they build that trust and support that's so essential for success?
It's the unknown factor. You can have all the talent in the world, but if the team doesn't click, it's not going to work.
And then there's the fan factor. Global Esports, they're clearly trying to build a connection with the Filipino Valorant community.
Yeah.
And that could be huge for them. That passion, that energy, it can be infectious.
Imagine a packed arena in Manila, the crowd going wild for Global Esports. That's the kind of home court advantage that can really push a team to the next level.
And it's a reminder that esports is more than just a game. It's a community, a shared passion that brings people together.
So, can Global Esports make a splash in the Pacific League? I think it's definitely possible. They have the potential, the ambition, and they're building a strong connection with their fans, but it's going to be a tough journey.
A lot of hard work, dedication, and a little bit of luck. But hey, that's what makes it exciting, right?
Absolutely. To all our listeners out there, keep your eyes on Global Esports. This is a team on a mission, a mix of seasoned pros and hungry newcomers, all eager to prove themselves. The Pacific League just got a whole lot more interesting, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
And who knows, maybe we're witnessing the start of something special. The future is unwritten, and that's the beauty of esports.
So until next time, keep exploring the world of competitive gaming. Keep those discussions going, and as always, thanks for diving deep with us.